Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Food, Wine, and Whiskey in Your Own Backyard. I am Rob, your host, and with me, as always, my co-host Carter. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man.
You full?
Yeah, I am. And if you can't tell, we've got a crowd with us.
Yeah, we are out and about tonight. We're on location. I've kind of enjoyed doing these a couple times.
Bit of a road trip thing.
Being amongst the people, amongst the fans.
Yeah, I like it.
A lot of autographs, a lot of pictures.
Yeah, I mean, we're recognized everywhere we go.
Oh, it's
I mean,
crazy.
it's amazing.
Some people call it a gift. We call it a curse. I mean, we're not necessarily fans of it.
Yes.
But, comes with the territory. You're as good as we are. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows that we're just bullshit, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's looking like, who the hell are those two guys?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I know. They're probably like, what are they doing here, and why are they eating up so much table space?
Yeah, no kidding. Two guys, all that equipment. What are they doing?
Oh.
We are on location in my backyard in Katy, Texas, and we are at Rosa's Pizza, and, it's actually the official name would be Rosa's Pizza Ristorante Italiano.
Okay.
So that's the official name. I think when people see it, they hear pizza and they go, it's a pizza joint.
Yeah.
It's more than that.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely have a wide variety of dishes. I haven't seen them stop making pizza since we got here.
Our plan was, I talked to the owner, who is Angelo, and let's start there. Angelo's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's from Italy, which, to me, if you're going to eat it,
brings a level of authenticity to it.
Absolutely. In my book, it does. I'm probably butchering his last name, but his last name is help me out, Carter.
Okay, let's see.
Angelo.
Mazzei?
Mazzei. So, for those Italians out there listening, they'll be
Mazzei.
Idiots. It's like
I think
Smith
that's
in
it.
Italy,
Mazzei.
Mazzei? Okay.
Yeah, because you like E is A and I is E.
Okay.
So,
okay. I'm just gonna say okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
But Angelo is the owner here, and he's from a southern region, Calabria, in Italy, and was born there in 1960, and had a passion for food even growing up, and moved to Germany. Worked. I don't know why Germany. We're hoping to have him on. We came up on a Wednesday night, Carter, thinking we might get 20 minutes to be able to have him on and talk to him a little bit, and he said he would.
I don't know that he's going to have time to do that. It's a pretty busy restaurant here.
On a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I mean,
just slammed, right? But that's great.
Yeah, good for him.
Good
Absolutely.
For him. So maybe we'll get to talk to him. That'd be good.
But anyway, he in his late teens, he moved to Germany for a few years for whatever reason.
Huh.
And we'll get the answer from him later.
Wonder if he cooks any German-inspired dishes.
Well, he worked in restaurants in Germany. And that's kind of where he from what his son was telling me, that's kind of where he fell in love with cooking.
Oh, okay, cool.
By trade, he was a bricklayer.
Okay.
He was a general contractor and a bricklayer. But when he came back to Italy, he began working like that, doing the construction and bricklaying and things like that, and eventually moved to New York.
Okay.
In the late 70s, and by the early 80s, had some kids, and I think they had some family move to the Houston area, and in 2005, they decided to follow suit and move down here to the Houston area, specifically the Katy, which is a suburb of Houston, and he ended up getting hurt and couldn't do the physical labor as much. It was always a passion of his to open a restaurant, and here we are.
Yeah, man, that's
Sitting
great.
in Rosa's, yeah.
That's great. Well, I like hearing it.
You know the obvious question I had, right?
No.
Is Rosa his wife? Is it in honor of her?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. And?
Because it's not Angelo's Pizzeria.
No, it's not.
It's Rosa's. So I haven't asked. I was waiting to have him on.
Oh,
so
yeah. Well, that
hopefully
would
we'll give him
sense.
the break away a little bit and see if we can have him sit down with us and say hello.
Yeah,
So.
for sure.
But you and I thought we would come in. Obviously, I've had a lot of pizza here. I've had a couple pastas. The draw for me is the pizza. I'm a big fan. I've been all over the Houston area, surrounding area.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of New York-style pizza.
Same.
And I think there's a lot of places that call it New York-style pizza. It's not really New York-style pizza.
No. I think there's a couple critical components here, right? You've got to have, to me, you got to have the clear glass. Like, and you have to have pizza by the slice.
You're talking about the shop.
Yeah, the
pizza
shop itself.
Yeah.
And not talking even about the style of the pizza. I'm just talking about, like, you have to have pizza by the slice available to be like a true New York pizzeria.
Okay, so and we can say that this is kind of styled after a New York pizzeria.
Yeah, you can definitely tell by the menu too. It's just in general, it's more of a New York style Italian
big
place.
board, up on the board.
Yeah, and really like the style of the pizza too. You know, in New York, you get a lot of the big, just single slices, you know. But and I think you can get that, but I really just like overall simple. The sauce is just right on.
And we found out something about the sauce.
It's uncooked.
Yeah, which I've become a much bigger fan of.
Same. Yeah, a lot of people say like. You let the sauce do the cooking in the oven.
Okay, and I agree with that.
You don't need to cook it, then cook it again.
Because what I've been told or researched and found out was you cook the flavor and the sweetness out of the tomatoes if you cook it before you put it on the dough. And that actually makes sense to me. And ever since I started changing my way of doing it, I've had people go, your sauce is different, but I like it better. And I'm like, okay, cooked, uncooked.
Yeah.
Just get that sweetness of the tomato and a little bit more of that tang still there. And the acidity is a little bit more there, and I like it a lot better.
Same. But really,
back to the restaurant. Yeah, cool place.
Really great place. Really enjoying the whole, like, the vibe in here and everything like that.
Well, and here's what kind of makes it, New York style. You mentioned it, the glass where you have pizza by the slice, long counter that you come up, the line forms, and you get up to the register to order. But what I really love about this, which reminds me of a pizzeria in New York, is that you see Angelo, throwing the dough and making pizzas. It's not back in the back where you just come up to a wall, you order, and you never see anything going on.
No, I mean he's the guy doing the work.
Yes,
for sure.
He's the pizza maker here.
Yeah, he's on the line. He's preparing every pizza. So I don't know if this is always, but it seems like.
Every time I've been up here.
You get a pizza, it's going to be prepared by him.
Yeah. And what's cool is his wife makes all the pastas. So she's kind of on that duty. He's on pizza duty. And they're a team. So it's truly a family restaurant. Their son works here as well, up here all the time. Angelo Jr. I'm not sure if he likes being called Junior. But,
yeah. Well, I think I'd be like remiss if I didn't say that, we tried a few other menu items other than the pizza. I mean, I guess we can talk about the pizza we tried today too.
Yeah, I think we ought to go through, all the items that we tried and kind of tell everybody what we thought about it.
Yeah. So we first went with the classic, the cheese pizza.
Yeah.
And the traditional style, the traditional way that they make it here. Overall opinion for me is really good. I liked it a lot. You don't get a nice pizza. You don't get a nice New York style pizza in Houston very often.
No, I mean, you've probably been to many more places than I have. Is there one or two that you can name that you go solid slice of New York style pizza?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
And see, that was kind of what I found going around. And that was my point earlier, not so much about the restaurant itself being kind of that New York vibe, but restaurants that say, New York style pizza, we make it. And I'm going, no, you don't. Because I'll order it and go, this isn't New York style. Real thick crust and, and I'm like disappointed leaving the restaurant.
Oh, yeah, sure. No, I mean, and when you say New York style, I mean, you're talking about it's a thinner crust pizza. It's
triangle.
It's a triangle. It's you have a crust, but you don't have like an excessive amount of crust.
Very thin.
I prefer my New York style pizza have a little bit of a crisp on the crust.
Absolutely. You educated me today. We have a new way to order pizza from here.
Yeah, we went with the extra crispy.
Yeah, we heard a gentleman order a slice, and he's like, when you throw that in the oven, I want it extra crispy. And I'm like, you can do that?
Yeah, and so we went there because we're both big fans of extra crispy.
Absolutely.
You know, so and when we say extra crispy, we're not talking about like it's a cracker or anything like that.
Yeah, and the cheese isn't black on top.
No. It's just a nice, you get a little bit of a crunch when you take a bite.
Yep, and it's still kind of got doughy in the inside of that crust. I mean,
and it's firmer across the pizza in general. Like you don't get that dreaded flop.
I agree. Absolutely.
You know,
now we went cheese only, so we eliminated some risk of flop. You start putting toppings on.
Yeah, sure. It gets heavier, and all that. But
I've become a huge cheese guy, though.
Yeah, same.
Especially if I'm trying a place for the first time. Mm-hmm. Because I really want to taste the sauce, the cheese, and the dough.
Well, it's the ultimate control, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's when we judge pizza, I think we tend to go cheese because there's really no variables there. I mean, I guess there's a blend of the cheeses and things like that.
Sure.
But the toppings can really dramatically change the taste of the pizza.
Absolutely.
So, if you go with cheese, you kind of know you got a bar.
Yep. You see what you're dealing with. Just like you said, it's control.
Yeah.
This is my foundation, and we're building from here.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you that you mentioned how good the sauce was.
Yes.
But I can also tell you they use a quality cheese, and you know how we know that.
How's that?
It's not greasy.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Some pizza places, you get that slice of that pizza, and you got to grab a bunch of napkins and try to get that grease off.
Well, I noticed that the cheese was shredded, but I bet he shreds it himself.
He does. And it's whole milk mozzarella.
Yeah, that's another thing. I noticed how light it was, and to me, that's a big sign of of like using good quality cheese when it's lighter looking.
Well, you and I were talking about that because we tried a couple of the other items on the menu just to kind of sample through a little bit. But I did mention that his pizza, the way it's made, I can get a 12-inch, sometimes a 14-inch, and eat the whole thing and not feel stuffed.
Yeah.
Because it's so thin and light.
Yeah.
You can do that. And I know, I don't know this, I've heard this, that people in Italy will say, everybody orders a pizza because you can eat a whole one over there. It's not like here where they make it so thick and bready that you get full after two slices.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, I mean, overall impressions of the just New York style pizza, really good.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot, and I would definitely order it again.
So next item on our so pizza, big fan.
Yes.
Yeah. I've had, with toppings, and they're fine. I mean, he uses quality toppings, all of them. The sausage we had, we can talk about that. Let's just jump right into it. That was the next thing that we tried, was a calzone.
The calzone was great.
Not something I can't tell you the last time I had a calzone.
I don't even know. Like, we were talking about it when we were eating, and I was we were kind of giving it a grade, and I don't even know where the grade begins because I haven't eaten that many calzones. It's not something that I go for, but I think I might more now.
But I will say I enjoyed it.
Yes.
The same thing, it's kind of I don't know what size dough, maybe a 12-inch or whatever it is, that they fold over, pinch, to give you that crust, and then they stuffed it. We got the ricotta, mozzarella, and no sauce, but it has the
Italian sausage,
and then it gives you the sauce on the side that you can dip put on top when you're.
And it was wonderful.
I thought it was great. I really enjoyed that, and the crust was good on the calzone. Yeah, the filling was very good. The ricotta was light and not heavy. It was not dry. It was still kind of creamy.
Yeah.
And the sausage was good. It wasn't like overpowering with spice or anything or any kind of fennel or anything in it. Yeah. It was just very good.
I thought it was quite balanced and really, really good. Sometimes when I think of ricotta, I think we talked about this, but, if you eat a lot of ricotta, it's like richness. It's too much, you know. And this was balanced out pretty well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How'd you grade the calzone?
I think I get the calzone a 7.5 on our scale.
Of 10.
Out of 10. I also graded the pizza 7.7, I believe.
7.7. Yep. And I went 7.8 on the calzone. And we're using, we need to give credit. We're using the point noise system.
The one bite system.
So no rookie scores here. Nothing's going to be rounded. 7.8 is what I went on the calzone. Again, just because I thought all elements of it was really good. I thought, the filling was good. It was well balanced. The crust was good. The dough that you got when you didn't have a bite of the crust on the inner part of the calzone, very, very good. So, again, not having a bar to kind of compare it to, but it's homemade, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of got that fresh kind of, it didn't taste like, like you might get at a Papa John's or a Pizza Hut.
Sure.
You know.
Sure. And, I'd be interested, in his process for making dough, too. I don't know if you got a chance to talk to him about that or not.
I did, and he even makes his own sausage and everything, hangs it in the back. I got to go back and look at it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. So,
nice.
Yeah,
well,
it's pretty cool setup. Makes his own dough.
Very cool. Very cool.
What's cool about him is, he comes from New York. He used to make his own wine.
Huh.
Yeah. Made his own cheese, makes his own mozzarella. So he's very much into that, making as many ingredients or getting it locally or as fresh as possible.
Yeah.
And it shows in what we're getting.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I love it. And so on the calzone, I definitely order that again. I might actually try for the extra crispy calzone next time.
I'm curious how that would be. You know what my biggest concern is, right?
Get it burned.
Not that much on the crust, but how would the inners hold up?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, man. It's worth a shot.
Absolutely. You don't know until you try, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think next we had the pasta.
We did have the pasta.
And
this is their signature pasta.
Yeah, Rosa's pasta.
Rosa's pasta.
Very good. I like. Let me tell you the main positive to me on that pasta. It was ziti pasta, and it was al dente.
Perfectly cooked.
Perfectly cooked.
The right way a pasta should be cooked.
It wasn't mushy.
Yes.
And I don't like mushy pasta. I want to be able to bite through pasta. And this pasta was perfectly cooked.
Totally agree. I felt the exact same way.
Yeah.
I also liked, so this pasta consisted of, like you said, ziti pasta.
Ooh.
And it had sauteed spinach.
Yep.
Some chicken.
Yeah.
Feta cheese.
Yep.
And this kind of a red cream sauce, almost like a
olive vodka or a blush cream or something like that. Yeah.
And it was good. All the elements worked well together. The feta was actually very good.
Yeah.
What I appreciated about it was it just wasn't drenched in sauce. So when I'm going to eat a pasta, I want to enjoy the pasta as much as I enjoy the ingredients in the pasta. And I thought the balance of sauce to pasta was very good in that dish.
I'd say it's kind of an American thing, unfortunately, to just over sauce.
I think you're right.
Like, even when it comes to pizza or pasta or anything, we're just piling
Alfredo
on the
sauce.
Piling on the sauce. You don't need that. You don't need that. Let the pasta shine, because, like, if you just pour a bunch of sauce on it, then I guess it means you don't have a good quality pasta.
Yeah. My only gripe with that pasta, not that it was a gripe, but what I would have preferred, he gave us cubed chicken.
Yeah.
And I would have preferred kind of a breast cooked with a thin slice in the pasta. But you brought up I thought was a great point why we probably got it cubed.
Yeah, because it's probably going on the pizza.
Yeah. It's somewhere over there in that pizza.
Yeah, it's in that
ingredient tray over there. And
I'm sure. I think it brings me to a point that I would say that when you think of a Italian restaurant in America, they're not going to always cook traditional Italian. They cater a little bit to the American palate.
I think any cuisine from call it foreign, which is, gosh, it's most of our cuisines. I think all of them have adjusted to the American palate to some degree.
And I want to just personally say that I don't think it's wrong to cook with an American influence on your food, and I don't think it means it's bad.
No,
I'm not a traditionalist. I'm not an Italian, so I can change is okay for me. And if it's good, it's good. And I'd say like this restaurant is probably geared more toward the American style, a little bit.
We didn't try any of the Alfredo dishes.
We did not.
I'd be curious to see how heavy that sauce is, because I'll tell you that when I have pasta, if it's a traditional if it's like a carbonara or something like that. I'm
Yeah.
not putting cream in it.
Yeah. No.
I make it the traditional way, and I prefer that mostly because it's just not as heavy. And I think that's probably why the Italians do it that way.
Probably. And I think it highlights, instead of adding cream, it highlights the cheese more.
I agree.
If you really think about it, because you're mixing pasta water and cheese to
Yep.
create a cream.
And eggs.
Yeah. Well, in the case of carbonara.
In the case of carbonara, yes.
But yeah, that's what
The starch in the water from the pasta is what's helping
create
thicken that.
the body to
Yeah.
the sauce along with the cheese.
Yep.
And yeah, it's so cream is generally, I mean, now cream is used in some dishes in Italian food.
Give me an example.
Like tiramisu has got cream.
Oh,
in it,
okay.
you know?
I'm thinking of like an entree.
I think that
Alla vodka.
alla vodka does have cream in it.
Yeah, and has. I know it's only in certain spots in Italy,
Yeah.
Like most countries, you go to the north, you go to the south in the States, they have different ways of doing things. Same there. I know some people in Italy go, that's not a real Italian dish. And then people in other parts go, yeah, it is. So it's.
Well, okay, I'll say this. And I use this guy as a judge of Italian food all the time. This guy, Vincenzo's Plate.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he cooked this.
The Australian Italian.
The Australian Italian.
Yeah.
So he cooked the alla vodka on one of his episodes, and his thing was like, I guess it was somewhat popular more in the 80s.
Okay.
And his thing was like, bring back this dish. This is a dish that needs to be in Italy.
It's good. Yeah.
So.
And when I make it, there's no protein in it. I don't put chicken or anything in there.
No. You don't need that.
No, and that's the other thing you need to know about Italian food from being traditional. It's usually a pasta with the protein on the side. They usually don't put the meat in the pasta.
So have you
other
ever?
Than pancetta.
So we don't do. Well, I guess he does do Neapolitan style pizzas here, or he will.
He will.
Not my favorite style, I'll confess, but I have heard that, and going off track a little bit here, a potato pizza was a really good thing. And
potato meaning potato being a topping?
A topping on the pizza. It's a Neapolitan style pizza. Italians love it.
Really?
Absolutely love it.
Okay, I've had potato on a pizza before, and I wasn't a fan. Now, maybe I've not had it the way.
Well, maybe what it requires is an
Italian guy.
An Italian guy, and maybe it requires a 900-degree oven or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, So as far as the pasta goes, I'd say I mean, I was good with it.
Is there anything on the menu that caught your eye that you go, we didn't get it this time because we can only eat so much, right? But next time I come back, I that caught my eye and I'd like to try it.
Okay, when I see gnocchi, my eyebrows raise.
Agree.
Because I'm like, okay, gnocchi, huh? Do you make the gnocchi here? Because that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And what kind of gnocchi? Is it a potato and flour gnocchi, or is it just all pasta gnocchi?
He's got it on the menu, potato.
Oh, it is potato.
Yeah.
Oh, that's work.
Yeah, that's real work. So I'd be curious to know if he made it. Some of the raviolis sound pretty good. I mean, I like the lobster ravioli. I'm a big fan. I like ravioli in general.
Yeah, and that's what, really makes me, again, and we talked about it when we first started, but going back to it, this reminds me of a New York joint because he's got your pizza. He's got, like you said, the different pastas. He's got the calzone. He's got hot and cold subs. I mean, you want a meatball sandwich? He's got a meatball sandwich.
Yeah.
You want sausage and peppers? He's got it. You want an eggplant sandwich? You got it.
And he's got the, kind of more of the, like, dinner type stuff, like the chicken parmigiana.
Yep. And he's got veal parmesan. He's got veal marsala. I've never had a veal scampi.
Me either.
I know what a shrimp scampi is.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm assuming substitute shrimp for veal, and it's going to be the same thing.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. But
let me ask you this. Is shrimp scampi an American dish?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it is.
I don't think it's Italian. I didn't think it was, but I've never really looked it up.
I've not looked it up, but I'm just going to make a wild guess and maybe be proven wrong.
I'm gonna ask my good friend. You know who my good friend is?
The internet?
Google.
Yeah. He does have tiramisu here.
I'm curious to see how that would be.
Okay. Okay, so he does have cheesecake. Oh, he's got cannolis, too.
How about that? A cannoli. Well, I might have to get a dessert cannoli with this wine.
I might have to get one to take home to my wife since I'm leaving her alone.
This is true. You're bringing her a big, heavy pizza.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that big monster yet.
A 4-pound pizza.
Holy crap. Okay. So to me, it screams New York when you have cheesecake on the menu.
Does he have cheesecake?
He has cheesecake on the menu.
Okay, you know what the next question is, right? Same thing you said everything else.
Does he make it himself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good question.
That would be interesting.
I had, speaking of cheesecakes and going off on a tangent, I had a really excellent cheesecake the other day while you're looking this up. So my wife took me to a steakhouse here in town called B.B. Butcher. We actually just sat at the bar.
B&B Butchers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
So we ordered cheesecake at the end. We just asked, hey, is the cheesecake any good? Where does it come from? And apparently they fly it in from a bakery in New York. And that was a great cheesecake.
Really?
Really tall, beautiful New York style cheesecake.
Was it not as dense and heavy as most of them? It was
lighter, it was lighter and just really, really enjoyable. Cheesecake can be my favorite dessert. It can be, if it's not too dense.
So this says that scampi is also called Dublin Bay prawn or Norway lobster.
Okay, so nowhere near Italy.
No. So it is whispered in the Mediterranean and northeastern Atlantic, from North Africa to Norway and Iceland. It's a gastronomic delicacy. Shrimp became the only species in the nephrops. After several other species were moved to the closely related genesis Metnephros, whatever that is. So yeah, shrimp scampi is not. I wonder how that became such a staple for, Italian food. I guess because you always get it with angel hair pasta or something.
I guess so. I don't mind it, but I don't know that I'd order it in an Italian restaurant.
You don't know that I would either, to be honest with you. Okay, let's jump to the. I'm going to pour you some more wine.
Yeah,
we are drinking wine.
We should probably talk about that before we move on to our behemoth of the episode.
So you started us off with
Franciacorta, which is it's an Italian sparkling wine that's way better than Prosecco. It's made in the traditional champagne style, so the fermentation in the bottles and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, really lovely. It's man, where's the bottle? Maybe we threw it away.
Oh, we might have left it over there. Yeah.
But it was a brut rosé, 100% Pinot Noir, really tasty.
Yeah, very, very good.
Yeah.
I mean, the red fruit on that was delicious.
Oh yeah, it was just all red fruit.
And the acid really helped cut through a lot of the fat and stuff on the pizza with the cheese and the sausage and the calzone.
And as we've mentioned many times before, I've mentioned many times before, champagne pairs well with a lot of things.
With most things.
Yeah. And it's the acidity really cuts through the fat.
Yeah.
On pizzas and pastas and, anything that's got a lot of cheese, even a charcuterie board or something like that, it really makes it's a good pairing.
Absolutely. Now we've moved on to
Chianti Classico Reserva?
Yep, a Chianti Classico Reserva. This is a 2016 from Domino. I butcher French and Italian names, dude.
Man, I'm telling you, man. Me too.
How do you say that? Dominio. Dominio.
Dominio.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's it.
It's first time having this. I
So
bought
it's
a few
like
bottles.
domino but with an EO.
Yeah, exactly. It rated pretty high. Solid little bottle for I think it was like $24 or something like that.
I think that Franciacorta was like right around $30.
So you can't beat that.
You know, like there's
value in wines if you know kind of how to shop. Everything doesn't have to be expensive to be good.
I'm really digging this Chianti though.
I am too.
I think it's really good.
I mean, I'm a fan of earth, on a wine, and this has got great earth on it.
It's almost got I say this nosing note sometimes, and people probably don't like it, but there's something about old world wines and having a sneakery smell to it.
Sneakery meaning like
rubber, like a sole of rubber. Okay, I like that. By the way, it's not a negative term for me, but this is a balanced.
Yeah, it is
balanced running shoe.
Balanced running shoe. I like that. All right.
No, it's very nice. I mean, color's just kind of, ruby-ish.
I'll tell you, when the cork came out, this is a 16. The wine on the cork was so light, I didn't know. I thought this was going to be a much lighter wine. It's a Sangiovese, but it's got good color on it.
So doesn't a Reserva have to be 6 years?
No, Reserva is an extra year.
Oh, just one. So it's
one
5
extra.
years?
No, this isn't a Brunello, so this would go, instead of 2 years, it goes 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Well, it's really good. I mean, 16, of course, is, just known as one
Great
of the
year.
best regions in Italy. So if you find 16 wines, just buy them.
From Italy.
Yeah.
I think France, too, for that matter. I think the
I
whole
think it's
kind
actually
of Europe.
worldwide.
Is it
Yeah,
worldwide?
I think
Okay.
Napa 16 was really good.
I know 17 was a lot of 16s are gone for Napa. They're every 2 years.
Yeah.
17 was the fire kind of thing. I think Napa's now on 19s, but
Oh,
for whatever reason, Italian wines, you can seem to find, or French for that matter, some older vintages at a lot of places.
Well, I think like Wine Spectator for the region rated it for 16 and 99.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Overall, that great.
Overall.
Fantastic.
So if you find 16 wines, get them.
So what you're saying is, in 16, if you didn't make a good wine, you really suck.
You're really a
Because
terrible.
you screwed up the fruit because it was good.
Yeah, and just as a frame of reference, 15 was also considered to be a
Very
phenomenal
good.
year,
Yep.
and it was rated as a 97.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you find 15 and 16, you're probably pretty solid.
I have some 15 and 16. You ready for what they are?
Mm.
Sassicaia.
Oh. Well, yeah. then
those should be pretty good.
Those should be pretty good. I've got some Bordeaux's from 15 and 16. I'm interested to see how they taste.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be fantastic.
And I'm not afraid to say that I like Bordeaux. So just
I like it very well, actually.
yeah,
Big fan. I might be a bigger fan of the Rhone Valley, but I'm still a big fan of Bordeaux.
Okay, so I'm a big fan of Merlot.
Right bank?
Right bank.
Yeah, same.
And
Same. Screw sideways.
oh yeah, I love it. I love it, man.
In Italian wine, do you have a favorite?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I think I know. I'm not even going to say because I'm pretty sure I know.
Brunello.
Yeah.
It's my
Fantastic.
favorite.
Yeah.
I could drink. If that was the last wine that I had to drink ever, like we've asked guests like final nightcap.
Yeah.
I'd probably drink the most badass Brunello I could find.
Yeah.
And just say, hey, that was a good day. I'm out.
Yeah.
I just love it. Now I will say this: there are some. When you talk Rhone Valley, Syrah, I love Syrah.
Yep.
And like Northern Rhone, Hermitage type.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'm a huge
so
fan
good.
of the Sangiovese grape.
yes.
So, I like, so many different regions within Tuscany that may use the Sangiovese grape.
yeah.
I also like Nebbiolo a lot. I'm a huge fan of Nebbiolo.
Me too. I just feel like it's more of an accessibility type of thing.
It's got to be aged longer.
You just got to age a Barolo forever, before it's like, you drink it right now, it's, a few years old, it's spiky, it's, not balanced. I guess that's the reason they have Barbaresco.
Yeah, which is a solid wine as well,
Yeah.
also made with Nebbiolo.
Yeah. So, but if I had to narrow it down to Italian wine, yeah, probably.
So let me ask you if you've ever had wine from this region, and man, I'm not great in geography, so help me out. Sicily is not its own country. It belongs to Italy, right?
Yeah. So it's an island, though.
I knew it was an
It's
island.
the island off the boot.
Have you ever had Sicilian wines from Mount Etna Rosa or something like that?
I have not.
Fantastic. Next time you come over,
Okay.
I've got some in the fridge. We'll pop one out.
Okay.
That's a region that I think for Italian wines flies way under the radar. You get some great values. I mean, think about drinking a wine where the vines are growing in this volcanic ash up on the side of the mountain.
Sounds pretty cool.
The flavor is just outstanding. Balance is
Sounds
good.
really
good
good.
wines. And to me, they just don't get enough, run and love, if you will, because they're really good.
Yeah, no, that's sounds awesome. I look forward to trying it.
And that's good leeway from Sicilian wines into
The pizza so there was an interesting menu item that I noticed, and I saw them making it, and I was very curious. I don't even know. I have to look at the background on this pizza to see if this is like a thing or not, or if it's I don't know.
It is. I know
Okay.
Sicilian pizza is made that way.
Okay, so
Kind of like a grandma's pizza or something like that. Yeah.
So it's a square pie. In kind of like a semi-deep dish type thing.
I call it like maybe a quarter of an inch taller than like a cookie sheet.
Yeah.
But it looked like cast iron. Almost.
Yeah, look like cast iron
Yeah.
for sure. But anyway, we got to try that at the end. I wanted to give it a try because I'd never had it before. My overall opinion was that it's a bit on the heavy side for me.
Yeah.
Now, on the positive notes, I'll say that it packed a punch.
Had more sauce. You like that?
I like a little bit more sauce. That would be my one complaint about the pizza. I could have used just a hair
I meant to
more
mention that earlier.
a
Yeah.
hair more sauce. But it had a lot more sauce, so it punched a little harder, which I like that. But just I think the overall, like the dough, the crust itself was just a little bit too heavy.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, you heard us both talk earlier. We're big fans of a thin crust.
Yeah.
So when we get into something that's, darn near a half-inch thick of dough, when I eat pizza, I like to enjoy the act of eating. You want to continue to have bites of pizza with your wine and stuff.
Yeah.
And when you get a piece like that, I mean, one piece, maybe one and a half, and you're done.
Well, I'll say it like this, there's a reason why I like Detroit-style pizza. It's a thicker
Well,
pizza,
airier.
but it's very airy.
Yeah.
And so when you take a bite of a Detroit-style pizza, it's less heavy. I don't know. So anyway, but that one I'd probably pass up on.
Both of us would, but we're not saying it was bad. It was very good for what it was. It's just not our style.
Just not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So overall impressions of Rosa's pizza.
Really great.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it quite a bit.
We didn't mention it. We are drinking wine. We kept talking about that, but you can bring your own wine up, which is cool.
Yes.
And so that's why you heard us talking about some of the wines we brought tonight. Great place to come hang out on a Friday night, Thursday night, Saturday night. You want to bring a couple bottles, some
Well,
friends.
we're here on a Wednesday, and
We're
it's
here on a
pretty
Wednesday
hopping,
night.
or
It
happening.
is popping. I'm shocked. We were hoping to get Angelo on, but another time for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great spot. If you're in the Houston area, especially if you're out in Katy, and if you haven't been to Rosa's, it's kind of tucked away at 510 South Mason Road. So if you don't know it's here, you don't know it's here.
Yeah, you're just going to,
keep passing it by.
Yeah. I wouldn't have known it unless I put it in the GPS.
Yeah. So definitely, if you hear the podcast, find it, come check it out. It's a great vibe, like I said, in the restaurant. But having Angelo right there behind the glass, looking Italian, throwing pizza dough, I mean, it just makes the whole experience. We talk about experience when you're eating one of the places. He definitely ups
yeah,
it a notch.
for sure. And I like the whole because he does the whole toss of the dough and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, the stretching and everything. It's great. It's great. I'm curious, what his process is for making the dough, though.
We're gonna get him on. We'll ask him and we'll find out, and that'll be in the next episode for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's great, man. I could just keep seeing him pull out pizzas, and it looks damn good.
I'm telling you.
Extra crispy, though, guys. Extra crispy.
That's the way to go at Rosa's.
Yeah.
Well, it's been fun, man. Good
yeah.
review of Rosa's Pizza, Ristorante Italiano.
Yeah.
How'd I do?
I give it a 5.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Food, Wine, and Whiskey in Your Own Backyard. And until our next episode, enjoy your next pour.
Of Italian wine. Because it's delicious.